Hi, I'm going to read a book called Rhinos Don't Eat Pancakes. Don't know, do rhinos eat pancakes? But I need my glasses. Not up there, not down there. Oh, over there. Okay, thank you for your help. There you are. Daisy was eating her breakfast when a big purple rhino strolled into the kitchen. That's right, a big purple rhino. It was big as a bus and as purple as a plum. It was also a bit peckish. So it took a chomp of Daisy's pancake and went upstairs. Mum, Daisy called, there's a big... You tell your dad, said Mum. He'll catch it in a cup and throw it out the window. Dad, said Daisy, there's a huge... Shh, said Dad. The spider can wait. It's not a spider, Daisy shouted. It's a big purple rhinoceros. But nobody listened. Meanwhile, the rhino made himself right at home. Daisy saw him just inside the front door in the hall. And then she glimpsed him in the garden. She spied him in the bathroom and surprised him on the loo. But every time she tried to tell her parents, they'd say, "Shh, Daisy, can't you see we're busy?" Daisy's parents were busy all week. So Daisy began to talk to the rhino instead. Soon they became good friends. They played hoopla and they made pizza together. And the rhino tickled Daisy until she thought she'd burst. But Daisy's parents didn't notice. They didn't notice until the pancakes ran out. "Who ate all the pancakes?" asked Dad, looking straight at Daisy. "It was the rhino," she said. "Rhinos don't eat pancakes," said Dad. "This one does," said Daisy. "I saw him in the kitchen." "A rhino?" said Mum. "In the kitchen?" said Dad. "Yes," said Daisy. "Exactly." Mum and Dad roared with laughter. "Ha, ha, 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 ha! Whatever next?" they hooted. "A shark in the toilet? A polar bear in the fridge?" Well, there he is, look," Daisy yelled. But Mum and Dad were so busy laughing, they didn't even notice. "Come on, Rhino," said Daisy. "I've had enough of this." The rhino tickled Daisy with his horn, but she was far too glum to giggle. "Mum and Dad aren't listening," she sighed. "Oh, they're a million miles away." The rhino sighed deeply through his big purple nostrils. "I'm sorry, Rhino," said Daisy. "Your family are a million miles away, aren't they?" The rhino nodded, and a little tear rolled down his cheek. Poor Rhino. That night, Daisy sat up thinking of ways to get the rhino back home to his family. He was too heavy for a hot air balloon. He'd break the basket. And he was too big for Daisy's rubber dinghy. She thought about lending him her bike, but the helmet would never fit. The next morning, Mum and Dad had a nice surprise. "We're taking you to the zoo," said Mum, "so you can see a real rhino." "What do you think of that?" grinned Dad. Well, Daisy thought it was a stupid idea when there was already a perfectly good rhino sitting on the sofa. But she didn't say so. What was the point? They probably wouldn't listen. At the zoo, Daisy saw yellow giraffes and bright red parrots. She saw orange and black tigers, and she saw grass-green snakes. But she couldn't help thinking about her poor purple rhino. "Come along, darling," said Mum. "The rhinos are this way." But what was this? A big sign. It says, "Missing. Big purple rhino. Likes pancakes. If found, please phone the zoo." "Oh my goodness," gasped Mum. "Well, that explains the pancakes," gasped Dad. So Mum and Dad and Daisy rushed back home, and guess what they saw when they got there? That's right, the biggest, purplest rhinoceros in town. "What did I tell you?" Daisy said, grinning from ear to ear. "I'm phoning the zoo," said Mum. The rhino looked startled. "No," said Daisy, "not the zoo. He needs to get back to his family. They are 1,000,000 miles away." "Well, we'd get a move on. We'd better get a move on," said Dad. "The next flight to 1,000,000 miles away leaves this afternoon." The rhino packed his suitcase while Daisy found his hat. Then they all pushed and pushed his big purple bottom into the back of the car, and they drove to the airport. "I'll miss you," said Daisy as the rhino boarded the plane. The rhino gave her a big purple hug. He would miss her too. Back at home, Daisy began to feel lonely again. Who would listen to her now? But little did she realise everything was about to change. "Tell us about the rhino, Daisy," said Mum. "Yeah," said Dad, "tell us about that big purple pancake-eating rhino." So Daisy told them about playing hoopla, making pizza, and the tickles. And guess what? They listened and listened until she'd completely run out of words. It was brilliant. It was fun. Well, have you got anything else you'd like to tell us about?" asked Mum, as she tucked Daisy into bed that night. Daisy looked out the door onto the landing and she said, "No, that's all for now," she said, smiling. "Night, night." She's got a little toy rhino in her bed with her. The pink polar bear can wait till tomorrow. She can tell her parents about the pink polar bear tomorrow.